President Obama may still be on vacation on Martha's Vineyard, but he's still pushing very hard for approval of the nuclear deal with Iran. The president made his point in an op-ed article that ran in about 30 newspapers nationwide. In it, he said, and I'm quoting now, "Here's my bottom line. If we are committed to preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, the choice we ultimately face is between a diplomatic solution and what would likely become another war in the Middle East in the near future." The idea that we can get a better deal by talking tough or squeezing Iran into submission with more sanctions is simply not realistic. Let's discuss what's going on. Joining us from Orlando, Florida, is the senator from Florida, Bill Nelson. Senator, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Wolf.
I know you support the president, you support this nuclear deal with Iran, but our new poll shows a majority of Americans, 56%, want Congress to reject the deal, and they're not very happy with the deal. And if you go further, in our poll, we ask, how do you think the president is dealing, approve or disapprove of the way he's dealing with the overall relationship with Iran? Only 38% approve, 60% disapprove. Why is he having such a tough time selling this nuclear deal to the American people and selling his overall strategy as far as Iran is concerned?
Because it's complicated, Wolf. I am convinced that this deal is in the best interest to protect the interest of the United States, of Israel, and our allies. I've boiled it down to that from the fact that if we do nothing, if we reject it, Iran will have a nuclear weapon in a few months. And through this deal, we have the opportunity for at least 10 years, if not 15 years, to hold off them developing a nuclear weapon unless they cheat. And if they cheat, we have an inspection regime that we will catch them, and then we can deal with that with all the options that we have on the table.
But I guess the question is, why is he having such a hard time making that point to the American public? And I'll go one step further. This new poll we asked, how's the president dealing with ISIS? Only 33% approve of the way he's dealing with ISIS, 62% disapprove. These are major foreign policy issues, yet the president's having a tough time with the American public, convincing them that he's right. What do you say about that?
Well, again, ISIS is complicated as well, as is the Iranian nuclear. And we're in the presidential election season, and there's a lot of partisan politics going around. And Wolf, I think it's very telling how our politics has shifted, that so much of what used to be a swing in the middle that would elect moderate Democrats like me of 8 to 10%, that swing is getting narrower and narrower down to 2 or 3% because people are retreating to their partisan sides. And that is spilling over when you get into complicated matters like the Iranian nuclear deal.
Speaking of the presidential election season, there's a Quinnipiac University poll, and you've seen it, that shows that Donald Trump, the billionaire businessman, he would win a primary election in Florida right now, even beating the former governor of Florida, Jeb Bush, the current senator from Florida, Marco Rubio, 21% to 17% to 11%. Why is Donald Trump doing so well among Floridian Republicans?
That's another indication of the change of our politics. He's blunt, he's direct, he's a celebrity, and he is engaging. And you put all of those things together, and we are in an era of celebrity politics. We're in an era of celebrity. But you put all of those things, and it's not surprising that in Florida he's ahead of the two Florida.
I just want to be precise, Senator. You think that Donald Trump could beat Jeb Bush in Florida in a Republican primary?
Well, that's today, is that poll. The long haul, the question of substance, that is yet to be told. But as of today, obviously the poll is reflecting how people are feeling. Donald Trump is a very engaging fellow. I really like him. You know, he owns Mar-a-Lago, the big house on Palm Beach. I see him from time to time. He's really an engaging fellow. Now, the question is, will that translate over the long haul as you get into the specifics? I don't know the answer to that.
Let's quickly talk about the Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden. I know you support Hillary for the Democratic presidential nomination, Hillary Clinton, but these polls show that if he were to throw his hat in the ring, he could beat Trump in Florida, this Quinnipiac University poll. Biden 45%, 42% for Donald Trump. How worried are you that Joe Biden will become a Democratic presidential candidate and challenge your candidate, Hillary Clinton?
Well, that's a tough question. Joe Biden was one of my best friends in the Senate. The Clinton family have been friends over and over. I am supporting Hillary. I think she's getting a bad rap on all of this stuff on the emails, and I can explain it if you want. But I don't think Joe Biden gets in at this point. I think he waits and sees, is Hillary going to survive all of this, which I think she will, and it would only be later down the line if she were not to do well that he would get in. That's my personal judgment.
All right, and I know you're friends with not only Hillary Clinton, but with Joe Biden as well, so you'll have a tough decision to make if, in fact, he throws his hat in the ring, although right now you're with Hillary Clinton. We'll continue all the political discussion down the road, Senator. Always good to have you here on CNN.
Thanks, Wolf.